Hello, and welcome to the video demonstration of the Virginia SOL online testing software. This video will work on some Grade 8 mathematics practice items for the SOL test. There are 13 questions that will show you some of the types of test items that will be administered as part of the new Grade 8 mathematics assessments. Some questions are multiple choice, and others are technology-enhanced items. Technology-enhanced items may require you to show your answer in another way, such as typing the answer in a box, completing a graph, or clicking and dragging the answer to a specific location. Listen carefully as I read the directions for these practice items. I will guide you through each item one at a time. Please remember that these questions are practice items. Let's review the navigation of this screen. Next and Previous buttons appear at the bottom right of the screen for each question. Clicking Next takes you to the next question. Clicking Previous takes you back to the previous question. Notice that the question numbers are also located at the bottom of the screen. For example, the screen with sample A reads Sample. At any time, you may click the Flag for Review button located at the bottom left of the screen. This should be used for any questions that you want to review at a later time. We will practice using this button when we're working on the practice items. Now let's look at the top of the screen. The tools you may use are in the toolbar at the top of the screen. We will practice each tool as we work through the practice questions. If you forget what a tool does, you can click on the Help symbol to read about that tool. Practice using the Next button to proceed to Question B. Question B has a gray directions banner under the toolbar that tells you how to answer the question. When a question has a directions banner, you should always read it before solving the problem. The directions banner says, type your answer in the box. Your answer must be in the form of an improper fraction. Use / or / for the fractions bar. This sample question is an example of fill-in-the-blank technology-enhanced items. Students may use a calculator and scratch paper to solve the answer, then type their answer in the box using the keyboard. For reasons we'll discuss later, we recommend all students use the Flag for Review button on any fill-in-the-blank question. Since the directions say your answer must be an improper fraction, you should have answered 6/5. You should type 6/5 in the box. Click the Next button at the bottom of the screen to proceed to the first practice item. Notice the bottom of your screen now says Question 1 of 13. Question 1 requires you to find the area of the base of a pyramid. For items where you need a formula to solve a problem, you should refer to the formula sheet located in the toolbar to find your answer. Let's take a moment to locate the formula sheet. Click on the Exhibit tool and the formula sheet will appear inside a window. You can resize the window by dragging the right corner of the window. You can use the scroll bar on the right side of the formula sheet window to view all the formulas. After you write the formulas you need on the scratch paper, click on the Exhibit tool to put the formula sheet away. Before we go to the next question, let's take a moment to practice using the Highlighter tool. You can use the Highlighter tool on the toolbar to highlight words. To use this tool, click the icon that looks like a picture of a yellow highlighter. Clicking the Highlighter tool will change your pointer tool to an arrow with a highlighter next to it. Practice using the highlighter by highlighting the question. Then click again on the Highlighter tool on the toolbar to put that tool away. Use the Section Review icon to navigate to Question 3. Let's practice using the Eliminator tool. On the multiple choice question, the Eliminator tool will help you mark choices that you do not wish to consider. At the top of the toolbar, click on the button with the red X. Selecting this tool will change your pointer to an arrow with a red X next to it. You can use this tool to eliminate as many choices as you want. To eliminate an answer, click the choices you believe are not correct. Then, click the Eliminator tool again to put that tool away. If you eliminate a choice and then change your mind, use the Eraser tool on the toolbar to erase the red X. Click on the Eraser tool and practice using it to remove a red X. Click on the Eraser tool icon again to put that tool away. Use the Section Review menu to navigate to question 5. Students may use any of the tools we have practiced, as well as a calculator and scratch paper, to find a solution. Before we go to the next question, let's practice using the Straight Edge tool. You can use the Straight Edge tool on the toolbar to make a straight line or to underline text. Click on the Straight Edge tool icon at the top of the screen. When you click on the Straight Edge tool, you will see a drop-down box. Select Tool 2. Your pointer will now have an arrow with a slanted line next to it. Practice using the straight edge by underlining the key words, total area of the shaded region. Then click on the Straight Edge tool on the toolbar to put the tool away. Before moving on, click on the Flag for Review button at the bottom left corner of the screen. If this were an actual SOL test, you would click this button if you wanted to come back and review the question again. When we reach the end of the practice questions, I will show you how the questions you flagged for review will look on the Section Review screen. The Section Review screen shows which questions you have answered and which questions you have not answered. The questions you flagged for review will have a picture of a flag next to them. Use the Section Review screen to navigate to question 8. Question 8 is another example of a technology-enhanced item. The directions say, click on a box to choose the number you want to select. The directions for this particular item state, there is one number to select. You will click on your answer choice located within the dark gray box. If you change your mind about an answer, you can click the answer choice and it will remove your selection. Or you can use the eraser tool at the top of the screen to remove your selection. On the actual SOL test, you may see questions that require you to pick one or more answers. Some questions, like this one, will tell you the number of correct answers to select. Other questions will not give you the number of answers to select. You will have to decide how many correct answers there are. Before we go to the next item, let's practice how we could use the pencil tool to eliminate answer choices that were incorrect for this item. Since this is a technology-enhanced item, you cannot use the Eliminator tool to eliminate your answer choices. Click the icon in the toolbar that looks like a green pencil. Draw a slash over the answer choices that you perceive to be incorrect. If you change your mind after eliminating an answer with the pencil tool, you can use the eraser tool to remove the slash. Now, practice using the pencil tool to eliminate the answer choices that you perceive to be incorrect. Then, practice erasing them. Click on the eraser tool to put that tool away. Use the Next button to proceed to the next question. Notice the directions banner in this fill in the blank item. Read the directions and the question carefully, then find a solution and type your answer in the box. You should have entered 1/33, entered as 1/33. If you entered an equivalent fraction, such as 4/132, this would not be correct, because the directions banner and the question specified the fraction should be in simplest form. Click the Next button at the bottom of the screen to proceed to question 10. Question 10 is an example of drag and drop technology enhanced item. The directions banner says, click and drag each phrase to the correct box. You will click and drag your answers from the dark gray box to the correct locations on the box on the left. If you do not click and drag a phrase into each box, the question will not be completely answered. If you only drag one phrase into a box, the question will show as answered in the section review screen, even though you did not completely answer it. This is why we suggest using the Flag for Review button for all drag and drop items. You may answer the question now. If you change your mind after clicking and dragging a phrase to a box, you can drag the phrase back to the dark gray box and then select another choice into the empty box. Use the Section Review menu to navigate to question 13. Read the directions in the gray box to answer the question. Now, look at the toolbar at the top of the screen. Locate the dot tool that is directly to the left of the exhibit window. You can use this tool to place dots on the screen if using this tool would help you work through a problem. However, it's very important to note that you cannot use the dot tool to indicate an answer to any item. Only the pointer tool can be used to plot points. On the SOL test, points plotted with the dot tool will not be scored. Take a moment to practice using the dot tool to see what the dots made with this tool look like. Click on the dot tool in the toolbar. Now, use the dot tool to place several dots on the number line. Notice that these dots are large, blue, and are different than the dots used to indicate your answer. These large blue dots should never be used to indicate an answer. Now click on the dot tool again to put that tool away. You must be very careful on the actual test not to use the dot tool to answer a question. You must only use the pointer tool to answer the item. This is why we recommend using the Flag for Review button on every graph question. Click the Next button at the bottom of the screen to go to the Section Review screen. The Section Review screen shows which questions have been answered, which questions have not been answered, and which questions you have flagged for review. To review a question, click on the question number. Now return to question 9, which is a fill-in-the-blank item. Delete the answer. Now click on the Section Review button to go back to the Section Review screen. Notice that the item will show as answered. Once you enter an answer for a fill-in-the-blank item, it will show as answered on the Section Review screen, even if you delete your answer. This is why we recommend using the Flag for Review button for all fill-in-the-blank items. We did not have a technology-enhanced item that required you to complete a graph. However, graphing items would also show similarity on the Section Review screen. If you were to delete your answer to a graphing question, it would still show as answered on the Section Review screen. You can also use the Section Review screen to sort the questions. The top row of the Section Review screen tells you how many questions you have flagged for review, answered, or left unanswered. If you want to view only the questions you have flagged for review, simply click on the column header that says Flagged for Review. If you want to view only questions you have answered, click on the Answer header. And if you want to view only questions you have left unanswered, click on the Unanswered header. And questions you have had left unanswered will appear. To get back to the section review screen that lists all questions, click the top left header column. We're now going to review one more set of screens. Click on the Continue to Test Overview button in the bottom left corner of the screen. Next, click on the Submit and Exit Test button. You will see a stop sign with 3 choices. It's important to review these 3 choices. The first choice, I want to return to the test, allows you to go back to the practice questions. You would click this option if you wanted to return to any of the questions. The second choice states, I want to exit this test and finish later. This option should not be chosen. This option may be used during the actual SOL test, but should not be used for the practice tool. If you click on this option, you will lose all of your work, and it will not be saved. The third choice, I am finished with this test and I want to submit my final answer, allows you to submit your answers. Since we have finished with the practice items, please click on the third option, I am finished with the test and I want to submit my final answer. This completes our review of the Grade 8 SOL Mathematics practice items.